Starter Pokemon are obviously some of the most important Pokemon out there, and extra care is taken to make sure their designs are especially good and that people can properly grow to love them as they are meant to. This naturally results in their designs being reworked and changed over time until they are just right, and while most of the time we don't get to see this amazing process with our own eyes, there have been a few times that we have got to witness a starter Pokemon's design change, and in today's video we will be looking at 25 times in particular where that happened. And speaking of change, one specific design change that is a welcome sight comes from today's wonderful sponsor, Ridge Wallet. Ridge wallets are the pinnacle of wallet design because once you have one, you will never want to go back to a regular wallet ever again. They hold up to 12 cards, plus cash, and they never get any bigger than what you see right here, allowing you to comfortably carry it around without having a gigantic awkward lump in your pocket. I personally use one of these every single day, so I can verify to you guys myself that the Ridge wallet is as legit as it sounds. These wallets also have 30,000 5-star reviews online, they come in over 30 colors and styles, they have RFID blocking technology built in to keep your credit card information safe, they have a lifetime warranty attached to them so you're never going to buy another wallet again, and they even come with a 45-day money-back guarantee. And if this didn't already sound amazing enough as it is, you can even get 10% off on one of these wallets with free worldwide shipping and returns by clicking the link at the top of the description and entering code HOOPS at checkout. Ridge play a huge role in helping me to bring to you guys my best content, and they are a reason why I'm able to do bigger series on the channel like my Pokemon Cardinal project as well as the one I am working on right now. So be sure to show them some love and pick up a wallet with that link in the description, and as always, thank you to them once again for supporting the channel. Going in no particular order, why don't we start with probably the most well-known and beloved starter of all time, or rather an evolution of one, Charizard. Charizard is nothing short of iconic, but it was set to be a bit different originally. Not only was its shiny form changed from Generation 2 to Gen 3, going from a purple color to the amazing black we know today, but prior to the release of Pokemon Red and Green, its design itself was a bit different too. As this promotional art shows, Charizard originally only had one horn on its head instead of two, a look which definitely makes it look different even if it is minor. In fact, this design was almost brought back in Gen 4 as Charizard's female variant, when gender variants were going to play a much bigger role, but ultimately that idea was scrapped as well. Looking at another fire starter, my boy Cyndaquil had its design changed slightly as well, which we know about thanks to a recent leak of Pokemon Gold and Silver. While being mostly the same, the quills on its back were originally much more traditional instead of being fire, which most likely means that it was a different type as well, although that info doesn't seem like it was included in the leak. This was also seemingly before Cyndaquil was made into a starter Pokemon, because in Johto, that role originally belonged to the fire bear known as Honoguma. So it's interesting to know that regular Pokemon can sometimes graduate and become starters. Switching gears, let's look at a water type this time and highlight Oshawott. While Oshawott's design change is something that we unfortunately haven't got a chance to see, it was described to us in an interview with Ken Sugimori. In the interview, Sugimori mentioned that Oshawott originally did not have the freckles on its cheeks, and that they were specifically placed there by Sugimori himself to add a, quote, imperfection to Oshawott's design in order to make it feel more natural. This is something that apparently others at Game Freak did not enjoy quite as much, as they felt Oshawott looked better without the freckles, but Sugimori was insistent, which is why we have the design for Oshawott that we have today. Next, let's move to a grass type and talk about Chikorita. While Chikorita, from what we have seen, has always had the same general vibe to it, it has gone through a couple of interesting design changes, both legitimate and not so much. Originally, it was thought that this was a beta design of Chikorita, known as Happa at the time, that originally came from a demo of Pokemon Gold and Silver. However, when that same demo leaked a few years ago, it was revealed that this was simply inaccurate, and this art that a fan had drawn depicting Chikorita was just a misinterpretation of its design. Meanwhile, another Gold and Silver leak did in fact reveal a slightly different but legitimate design that Chikorita once had, where its head leaf originally had a chunk of it missing, much like Bayleaf's does, which is probably where that feature originated for the evolution. However, while Bayleaf kept this look in its final design, Chikorita's leaf was made whole for its final look. Now we are going to look at some examples of when a starter Pokemon's shiny colors were changed. We already mentioned this for Charizard, but shiny colors changing is something that happens more often than you would think, and even starters, for as special as they are not immune to having their shinies altered after release. The starter Pokemon that this has occurred to include Bulbasaur, who saw its bulb change colors in its shiny from Gen 2 to Gen 3, Charmander, whose tail flame became more red in Gen 3 compared to yellow in Gen 2, and Charmander also saw its base design change as well, as it originally had some back spikes in Gen 1 that it no longer does. Other shiny changes include Charmeleon, whose body went from orange to gold from Gens 2 to 3, meaning that the whole Charmander line had their shinies changed after release, Wartortle, who as well from Gens 2 to 3 had its skin color as well as the color of its chest and stomach change in its shiny form. Blastoise, meanwhile, has had its shiny changed twice, seeing the same changes that Wartortle did also in Gens 2 to 3, but then its shiny changed again from Gens 3 to 4, where its skin was altered a second time, going from a blue color to a pink color instead. The entire Cyndaquil family saw their shinies change from Gens 2 to 3 as well, where originally their shiny saw their flames become a more mystical purple color, but then with the change their flames became the same color as in their original forms, but their body color was changed from a blue to more of a reddish brown. Croconaw and Feraligatr also had shinies changed from Gens 2 to 3, originally having purple spikes and greenish skin, but then that being changed to blue spikes and lighter blue turquoise skin. Feraligatr's base design also saw changes as well, particularly upon the Gen 2 games being localized, as its Japanese sprites show it with a slightly different stomach pattern. Combusken, like Blastoise, is another starter who has seen its shiny change twice. It originally had a shiny consisting of a deep red and very light yellow color, but that was changed in Gen 4, where its shiny was hardly any different to its base form at all. However, in Pokemon Sword and Shield, this was changed back when Combusken made its way into the game with the other Hoenn starters via the Crown Tundra. Finally, Torterra has the interesting distinction of having its shiny changed mid-generation. From Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum to Heart Gold and Soul Silver, the shade of green on shiny Torterra's head was changed, going from a darker to a lighter shade. In addition to its shiny change, we also know of a change that happened to Torterra's base design as well, where it originally looked like this at a much earlier stage, as shown in a recent leak of some of Diamond and Pearl's beta materials. Speaking of that beta leak, it also showed differences in the designs of Grotle, Prinplup, and Infernape, with Grotle and Prinplup having substantial changes to their final designs, and Infernape's being a lot more minor but still interesting nevertheless, as it originally did not have a tail. Making our way back to Gen 1, Ivysaur and Venusaur originally looked different as well, with Ivysaur having a publicly known beta sprite that depicts its body as much flatter than in its final design, and this flatness is retained in Venusaur's final design in Pokémon Red and Green. In Venusaur's case, this design difference was brief, as it wasn't something that was seen outside Japan, and that would be because Pokémon were originally designed as sprites first before their artwork was made, and upon Ken Sugimori making that artwork, he would often fix certain elements of many Pokémon's designs, which seems to have happened here. Gen 2's fully evolved grass starter, Meganium, also saw a slight change, but this one occurred after the games had already been released. In Pokemon Gold and Silver, the flower around Meganium's neck was slightly different to how it is today, a change that was made in Pokemon Crystal and has been that way ever since. Hopping on over to Hoenn, both Torchic and Blaziken have seen massive changes to their designs from beta to final. With Torchic, we are fortunate enough to have some concept sketches of a couple different beta designs, one where it has large flappy ears with a flame shape on the back of its head, and another where it has an egg-shaped body. Blaziken, meanwhile, is unlike anything we have ever seen before in the world of beta Pokemon material, as it was once fused with Latios in the form of a Pokemon that never saw the light of day. While still unclear what the process behind this Pokemon and its resulting split was, it's very obvious that half of it is Blaziken, so it's possible that this Pokemon was simply scrapped for some reason, but its parts were used to create two distinct yet completely separate Pokemon. Trico is another Hoenn starter that we have been fortunate enough to see a beta design of as concept art of various alternate beta designs that have been published online show Trico with an overall different demeanor to it, as well as a different head shape and features that it would lack in its final design, such as stripes on its chest and leaves attached to its wrists, a feature that would actually end up getting used in the final design of its evolution, Grovyle. And last, but certainly not least, we have also seen Tortodile's design change as well. While a bit more under the radar, an early version of Tortodile's design was revealed in one of the many recent Gold and Silver leaks, where it certainly looks much more beta-like. Notably, it actually has a body pattern here that is very similar to what its final evolution, Feraligatr, would use in its final design. And with that said, those were just a few starter Pokemon who we have seen had their designs changed over the years. If you enjoyed, be sure to leave the video a like and subscribe for more Pokemon content all the time. I will see you with another video very soon, and until then, as always, I love you guys, thanks for watching, and I will smell you guys later.